Libra, does it feel like life is slowing you down? Even though you want to push forward, you want to make decisions and go forward, but yet everything seems to go into slow motion right now? Your reading talks all about that and what you can do to get the most out of it. All right, stay tuned. Hello, Libra. We have got you in the house. Sorry it took me so long to get to you, but we're mid-November. This reading is for kind of like the next 2-3 weeks of energy. We got through all of the eclipses, and that's fantastic. So we've gotten through the heavy energy, and now we really are coming into more positive energy, which I'm so excited about. The eclipses were intense, you know, good information, but sometimes there's only so much you can take, only so much you can handle where you're like, okay, I'm done. So now we're coming into, we got all that information, we got the purging that we need to have from it, hopefully. You've got the information that you need so you can move on to the next things that you want to accomplish and do. Yeah, that's definitely done. Tower card we are done with. Tower card happened and moving on, definitely. Tower card is something that when it comes in, you really don't kind of expect it. Things can blow up or change really fast. Sometimes it's necessary. Sometimes it's just changing the direction of your life, and you're like, do I want any more of that? I don't think so. But they happen, and we really want to move forward with the energies now. We're coming into the holiday seasons and Sagittarius, and everybody's cards have been much lighter and progressing forward. So are yours. So this is good. Thank goodness. Stay tuned. Oh, also you can check out a reading that I did for the extensive energies in November Astrology. It's called Crucial Information. You'll see, I'll put the link in the description if you want to do chores and listen to it while you're doing your chores. It's a good one because it's kind of longer, but there's a lot of information, especially on the Cazimi that we're coming into, which is the Sun and Mars coming together. This happens, the way it's happening right now, it only happens every two and a half, about 2 years. And it has to do with what you're fighting for. It's really, really, really important. So if you want to look into that, there's a video that I did all about it, very detailed. Anyway, we're going to come right back to do your reading. All right. Interesting reading. It started out where I was going through it, and then the beat of your reading was slowing down. And I'll tell you why. Because it's saying that within your life and the things that you're doing right now, it's like you're being slowed down so that you have to reflect and take a look at some things. There's other people and other signs that are kind of starting to zip forward and get going again, and now you've got like this hang time. It's kind of like this. When you have the moon card like we have here in the middle section, you have the moon card, and the moon card is, it can be secrets and everything, but one of the main things the moon card does is it reflects. It makes you go into reflection. It slows things down, and especially when it's really turned upside down, then you really go into like slow hang time. And we've got the twos here, choices of new decisions that you want to make. But the funny thing is that within you wanting to move forward and charge forward with the knight in actions, and the friends, they're both really quite reversed and genuinely sitting in a reversed position where it gives this sort of, you want to move forward, you want to make these choices, but you're being forced to slow down and look at things, consider some more things, because it's really important, the decisions that you make right now of what you keep and what you let go. And so everything's kind of slowing you down towards that. And one of the things you're coming towards is you definitely have the Empress. Okay, she's like Mother Earth, and she's very nurturing. She takes care of things, and she's definitely two of swords. Swords have to do with like the mind and decisions, and this is someone sitting in a very calm, energetic position where they're trying to make their mind up about some things. They don't want to be influenced. Nobody's coming in and to disturb you, and also you're not letting information out while you're meditating and trying to figure out what you want to do. And it looks like when it comes upside down and everything, you're really coming into the decisions of what you're wanting to do. This recently in the past, but it's based upon kind of like mothering, nurturing instincts within that. And it talks about moving forward, you're even going to feel a little bit delayed on things and accomplishments that you're trying to get done because you're still trying to figure out who you want to be. Whatever some of the things that just happened in your life, sometimes there's, especially if there's any sort of like traumas, betrayals, or things that let us down, if there's some major stresses that come upon us, sometimes we come forth with almost now deciding, well, who do I want to be? What is my identity? What do I want to be to move forward? And you can't quite make all the decisions and choices that you want to make until you decide that. It's really important because you don't want to be the effect of other people's lives. Where you have more self-awareness of who you are and your focus and what you want, then you're going to be making choices on what you need for your life. And we definitely want that, don't we, Tinkerbell? Definitely. So it's really wild. It's the whole, all of your energy is slowed down. It's like, take a moment and just pay attention to things right now. You ever seen like a volleyball when someone goes up and they're going up to take a strike and they've got like that, they're going to spike the ball, but right before they've got this hang time. And you don't know exactly they're going to go over there or they're going to go over there, like where exactly they're going to aim the ball. They've got this hang time when they're assessing the information. And then all of a sudden time speeds up again, and then you go forward. You're in that hang time. You're supposed to be slowed down, viewing the field, reviewing the information that you have, and then making a decision, calculated. But it's a decision mothering. It's the Empress. It's nurturing of how you want to move forward. And Libra, you're quite someone who reflects their own self-identity, sometimes does reflect in your relationships, the mirrored relationships that you have with the people that love you and truly support you and back and forth. So that might be also a part of looking into, like we've got here with the Three of Cups, and that a lot of times does have to be support, your support system and your friends, who's supporting you, who doesn't support you, and how that is. So you're gathering a whole bunch of information right now because you want to make these decisions and then move forward. And the life is slowing you down on purpose because it's saying you want to take some new actions, but you're also learning how to be more flexible and not to hold on to old things that aren't, they're just not working the same way they used to work. And so you got to be able to release your grip on that and say, okay, things are changing and I'm changing. I'm progressing. And look at it in the most positive fashion because you're slowed down. It's definitely saying within levels of even like systems and everything that even sometimes people and things are like giving you no's or not giving you the green light, and you're like, oh, good Lord, I really want to move forward. But just trust me on this, that it's for you to do reflection. Because it really feels like your next reading, I bet you anything there's going to be the Hangman, because it looks like you're about to go into a major transition. It's a blossoming when you go into a major transition. It can be a really great thing. And this is gentle. This is gentle because it does talk in your attitude. It talks about, you've got the Death card with the Emperor. And what that's reflecting is like, and the Emperor's in a positive position, okay? It's within the attitude. And when you have your empire and you need to make decisions, and the best decisions for yourself and your empire and everybody involved in that, who all is involved in your empire. Okay, things, sometimes there's losses and things that come to an end, a natural progression to the end, so that there can be new births. Like the death card is one that jumps then forward into the star card, and you have the death card here with a natural progression of an ending, so that you can go into the rebirth. And the rebirth, the star card is like a rebirth going in. The sun and the star card are energetics of going into new energies and rebirth, new identities. And then after that happens, you have the progress of now where we're going. Now what is alive and what are we moving towards and forward into in the energetics. It's so important to get focused on like what you're fighting for and everything. One of the things that you want to consider is there's a thing called a Cazimi right now, and it's the conjoinment of the sun and Mars. And there's a video that I did that you can look into that talks about it, mainly towards the very end of the video. It talks about that. So if you want to zip forward to the end of the video, it talks about those coming forward and what you fight for and the new purged energies, and it's all brand new. And for the next 2 years, you're going to be really going into that. So it's super important that you have focus. You know your passions, you know why you're doing something, why, so you can have figure out your how. And this is really important right now for you, especially Libra, because everything's slowing you down in the best way. It makes it easier to do. It's easier to do this than it is when things are intense and exploding. So I'd much rather have this. Okay, so moving forward, it does say within your Empress you want good love energies coming forth within that. You have a little bit of fears that that's not going to happen, but let's not do that. Let's not do that. Let's not fear that. Let's say that you are going to be nurtured as much as you nurture everybody else. Let's manifest that. Okay, so let's get into hopes of that instead of so much fears, and then we're gonna progress forward with that. It is talking about, once again, you're needing your rest, relax, recoup, meditate. You have all these energies where it's time for you to put down your mind, okay, and meditate and relax and figure out in calmness of who you want to do your next projects with. You've got a lot of threes in here, and threes are, when you conjoin and you bring together to make projects. These are all people with their different things that they do really well, and they come together to make these magnificent things. Pentacles are trying to manifest, put something into actual physical existence. And so it's good to think about all of that. Coming up in the future, it is talking about still being kind of held back in certain institutions or things, saying, no, we think, you need to, are giving you like no's or resistance. And within that, you're going to get information, and it may feel a little bit like judgment, but it's second chances for you to hear your calling. A lot of times when there's endings and deaths, like you have the death card and then you have like the judgment card where it shows, let me show you this, where it shows people have come, they're coming out of the caskets, and they're hearing the calling. They're new, their souls are revived into going into the calling of where they're going to go next, things they're going to do. Except you're staying here, you're right here. But a lot of times there's level of judgment within that, and sometimes it's just judgment you have on yourself. It can be second chances of how you feel about yourself, or second chances from other people, or you even giving second chances to other people. But it is saying with the Hierophant in the fives that I would fives make things, intensifies things a little bit more, but I would do this internal work and definitely not worry so much about what other people are thinking, you or their judgment of you. It's important that you weigh out. You're really good at balancing, as Libra does, and you take it all into consideration. Of not necessarily things or people that you're going to leave behind, because whatever is going to kind of go away when you really do decide upon your new you and your energetic and moving forward, some things will naturally go away, whether it be job, friends, this or that. Like, some things have a natural progression to an ending, which is saying that in the future there are going to be a few things that, once you've decided you know, who you want to be, what your identity is, and what you're doing, because you're focused. You're focused with your actions, very much so. You know where you're going. It's like a spear that you're throwing, and they're all in unison. They're all focused in actions, in their action. The 8 of Wands, right? You know what you want to do, but sometimes once you've decided what your identity is going to be and where you're going and what you're focused on, some things kind of spill. Certain things go away and new things come into existence, right? But sometimes we have to have a little bit of mourning. You can see this character's kind of mourning the loss of things and say, oh, well, that was fun, or I still, you know, I wish this person was going to be moving forward with me, or I wish I didn't have to leave, or, you know, whatever that looks like. And you have a proper level of kind of mourning the loss of that, and then you got to turn around and move forward with the things that are waiting for you. And you are going to have some of that. Yeah, it is the proper progression. Like I said, though, it is sort of more with your reading. It's more of a slowed down, slow motion observation of all this going on. So it's just the weirdest feeling. But, you know, like I said, I'd much rather have that, not try to push things to move quickly, but because everything is going to move exactly in the time that it needs to. And to gather all the information that you're receiving from being able to look around in slow motion and get it figured out of you, because I know you want your choices that you want to make to move forward with the new you, and I know you want to do your projects and get moving, but you're going to take the proper time, because life's kind of making you do that. It's fine. It's going to work out just the way you need it to work out. But breathe through things being delayed and slowed down. It's supposed to be that way. It's helpful. Okay? So just, I mean, you can obviously do whatever you want to do, but I definitely wouldn't fight it. And you don't want to lose all the information you can gather. So I just got that vision of Flash. You know, like when Flash, he can move so fast that everything else looks like it's in slow motion, so you can see what's going on and, you know where you need to move or go to. It's kind of like that. You're not really, the world's slowed down and you're kind of moving fast, but everything else is slowed down. It'll eventually catch up to you. Right now you're able to look at everything. You understand what I'm saying? For anybody who knows what I was talking about with the Flash character in the movies when he moves super fast. Anyway, I'll stop talking. Give me just 1 second. I'll come right back with the wrap up. Just a quick reminder to check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. This will give you a feel for which energetic you're possibly experiencing right now. And if you would like a detailed personal reading, you can book a reading at ctgtarot.com. And thank you for subscribing and clicking the like button. The kitties and I are very grateful. Let's now get to just the core aspect of the wrap-up. So, we've got your life slowing down into slow motion so that you can really make good choices. Even though you want to move together quickly, you're sussing out your relationships, your support systems, so you can flow forward in the new ways of doing things, the new you. It's going to feel like your projects and some things are going slow, but you're in the deciding phase of what you want to be, who you want to be, and your core decisions for that, so that then you can engage properly based on those decisions. And those decisions do affect your relationships, but it's going to feel like a calling. It's like certain deaths and rebirths, so that the emperor that you are and the empire that you have, you can make the proper decision. You can understand natural progressions of losses, and you can come and feel reborn into new areas, new things of being, second chances. Don't worry if systems or things are just trying to control you, and you can feel bound by that they have control over you, but it's not that right now. If you're getting no's from anybody and it's slowing you down, it's just because you're supposed to slow down right now and be in high observation mode. Things are going to start back up pretty darn fast, sooner than you realize. So take this moment to really look at everything that's going on in your life so you can decide the people that you want to continue forward with in your projects and your relationships, and what that looks like for you. You're going to come into a little bit of energy of some things after you decide who you want to be, what the focus of where you want to go, and you have a really clear direction of the actions that you want to take. There's some things that are going to fall aside, some things that are going to naturally have their own ending, and you'll have a feeling of kind of mourning the loss of that. But yet you know that you're going to be able to then turn around and then move forward in the direction of the new loves and the new things that you would really like to experience within the person that you want to be. So it's all part of the process. It's all part of this flow. I mean, I can just feel it. It's really the way it's supposed to be, of the natural slow motion, to really observe everything. It's a benefit to do it this way. It really is. So you're lucky to be able to have that and observe it, and then choose properly within your relationships based upon who the new you is and what that looks like. So I wish you the very best with all of those choices and decisions that you're making to nurture yourself and have the same amount of love to come back to you. And we're going to be in the hopes that that really is going to take place. But first it starts with you and your own self-love and your own willingness to accept yourself and love yourself for who you want to be, even if it's a new you. So I wish you the best with all of this, and we'll talk in your next reading. Wish, wish.